What up, y'all? This is your boy Warloxide. This is the Conspiracy Hour with Warloxide, and our special guest today is Sid Jones. Thanks for
Ladies
coming,
and
Sid.
gentlemen, thank you. So, you feel at home here on the Sid Jones Network, brother? You feeling like this is a good place for you?
Yeah, hell yeah, it is, bro. This
So
is a
we're
place
hoping.
where we can all get on here and share our opinions and our views, and we can talk it out. Just try to stay civil with each other, man. That's the shit.
Yeah, that's the
Can't do
only
that
rule.
nowhere else.
No, you can't. And when I found out that free speech was being attacked and freedom of expression, and you even got like freedom of the press and freedom of assembly that's being attacked, I'm like, I defend the First Amendment wholeheartedly. The Second Amendment was there to protect the First. We should really be doing something about that.
Yeah.
And I figured doing a network dedicated to free speech, dedicated to people sharing opinions, whether they're agreed with or not, whether I agree with them or not, is irrelevant. It needs to be about the people.
Exactly. It's always been supposed to be about the people, but it hasn't been about the people lately, as we can tell, and it sucks.
No, it hasn't been. And like I said, when you asked me to do this and what we were going to be talking about, I was fucking excited.
Yeah, bro. Like, there's been a lot going on lately, man, with the murder of George Floyd going on. It's fucking sad to see somebody get killed, especially by the people that are supposed to be there to protect us, the people that are supposed to be there to work for us, not against us. They're not supposed to be here to tell us what to do. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they're doing, and that's what this led to.
Well, and that's the interesting part of it, isn't it? Because we were sitting there saying we want this to be abolished and we want this, and then it turned into, wait a minute, now the show Cops is canceled. Now Facebook is shutting down skinhead groups and oi groups where it's just music, and it comes and it stems from ignorance, and it comes from people not discussing it. For instance, when I say I like oi and skinhead music, people that I used to work with, they would say, "Oh, you're racist. That's racist music." I'm like, "Have you listened to it? Are you familiar with it?" Nope, I just know it's racist. Then you're not educating yourself, and that's a part of the problem. It's not just the system; it's us not being accountable and not taking an interest and coming up with assumptions. And as they once said, one of the best lines ever in movie history: "Assumption is the mother of all fuck-ups."
Exactly. That's all courts are based off is assumptions. They all assume you're guilty. You know what I'm saying? And you got to prove yourself otherwise. Like, I don't understand why you got to prove yourself innocent whenever the burden of proof always falls upon the accuser. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it sucks too because it's political at that point. The more charges you have, the less likely you have it's surviving it. Yeah. Right? Like, because it's like, okay, so this dude is a shitty human being, but I don't think he did these things. But if we find him guilty on just one charge, he gets 15 years. So if we just give him, all right, we'll find him not guilty on all the severe charges, but we'll find him guilty on the lesser charge. That's why people take so many fucking plea bargains.
Mm-hmm.
Is because they're like, well, fuck, if I go, I'm guaranteed. Like, if I've got 6 charges against me, which they love to do because that pled for guilty still goes in their favor. Avoid election years, man. Like, if you can be good for a fucking year, avoid election year, because if you have to go to court when that prosecutor is trying to get reelected, or that judge is trying to get reelected, or the sheriff is trying to get reelected, you're fucked.
Yeah,
royally. That's not a justice system.
Nope.
So that's where some of my issues lie. Anyhow, you know what I mean?
Just like, a fucking small percentage of the issues, yeah. And I'm seeing all these protests and these riots break out, and people not understanding what the real problem is going on here. It's not just, there is racism in the world, obviously, we know this, but it's more of a corruption issue where people think that you got to listen to me, or I'm going to kidnap you, hold you for ransom, or I'll just kill your ass if you don't listen. If you try to protect yourself against me, you're going to die. We got a whole gang of motherfuckers that's going to have my back. You know what I'm saying? They'll try to cover it up any way possible, and it's getting out of control, man. It's time that we take back control. Control that's ours.
So how do we fix that? Because my goal, as you know, and I've made it very public, that I do intend on running for president in 2024. People laugh at it. Spaz has laughed at it. People don't take it seriously. But I'm like, what's going to wind up happening? No matter who wins this election, what happens after the fact? When you've got things that you already like being banned, music is being attacked, freedom of speech is being attacked, you need at least somebody to not even just be president, but to at least run up and call them out on their shit.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we need, man. We need somebody that's going to put the police back in their place and let them know that you're not in charge of these people. You're out there to protect and serve. You're not out there to gain revenue off motherfuckers on the side of the road at gunpoint. You know what I'm saying? Like, these people pull you over, they have guns, and people get scared. You know what I'm saying? People do stupid shit. They don't know how to act when they got a gun pointed at them. I've seen fucking people get shot down because they were just trying to fucking follow orders, and every time they move, they get fucking yelled at even more. You know what I'm saying? It's like, this is not how it's supposed to be. We're not in some foreign country. You guys are not the military. You don't treat us like fucking pieces of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. And I actually brought this up. I brought this up, and I says, have you ever driven down the street and you see a cop drive by and you're like, thank God we got cops here, man. Thank God we got. No, you sit there, even if you're not committing a crime, you're white knuckling the fucking steering wheel like, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck. I don't have drugs, right? Oh wait, I don't do drugs. Oh fuck, what if somebody, and so your mind is fucking racing. And if that cop does pull you over, I've been pulled over when I was carrying a firearm, legally carrying one in the state of New Hampshire. I didn't know what to do. I'm like, what does every fucking YouTube video taught me? Like, how do I not get shot in this situation? Right. And the cop was totally cool about it. The cop was like, and matter of fact, we got off. We had an out tail light. Instead of the cop writing us a ticket, he just said, oh, by the way, out tail light, fix that. Have a nice day.
Exactly.
So there are cops that are like that. But the problem is the cops that aren't like that. That's the issue. Cops like that, they're the ones that are circulated. Like, it's almost like with the pedophile priests. So they're moved around. Rather than being dealt with, like, the good cops are moved around because, oh, wait a minute, they're reporting this and they're questioning this. They need to be elsewhere. That's a problem.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Exactly. They need to remain as an emergency service like they're supposed to be. They need to stay parked like an ambulance or a fire truck would. And if they're called to an emergency, then show up. But don't be out there pulling people over, extorting money out of them. You know what I'm saying? Any cop that pulls somebody over that they don't suspect of an actual crime, they're fucking corrupt. I don't care who they are. They could be the nicest person in the fucking world. You know what I'm saying? But you could be a good person and be bad at your job. That's definitely possible.
Hey, I'm a great person. I sucked at my job at Aldi. Well, okay, exactly. I guess it's questionable whether or not I'm a good person. That's definitely up for debate. Quick thing here. Twiggy Dro says, I got pulled over while in the back seat. Out of the four of us, I was the only one that got searched. Detroit police are fucking pricks.
Oh, yeah, bro.
Alicia writes, cops that aren't rational and reasonable, and the Blue Brothers Code of Silence that protects them.
Exactly.
Heidi Doherty, she's in here. She's a good friend of mine. Ryan Koch says the police are the biggest gang out there. They got too much power.
Yes, hell yeah. You know what I see going on right now? I see that there's a big ass group of corrupt motherfuckers out there, right? And they're being trained by corrupt motherfuckers. So this is why I say that it's a bigger picture than fucking police force. These people are being trained to react to situations a certain way by other motherfuckers. These people that are training, these people are being paid by other motherfuckers to teach these motherfuckers to be like these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? So when you got people out there just trying to, what they think they're doing is their job. You know what I'm saying? They think they're doing their job by stopping you. They think they're doing their job by acting like an asshole and telling you what to do and how to act and how to react and this and that. When in reality, they all took an oath to the Constitution individually. You know what I'm saying? They need to be individually held accountable for every one of their actions that go against the Constitution. And you can find just about any cop at any police department and find out that they have a long list of being tyrannical because they fucking violated their oath to the Constitution.
Well, and actually, we got Delboy Dibber in here. He writes, err on the side of caution every time you're pulled over by the cops. Never give them a reason to act like a cock. I love it. And Dibber, he's got a lot of history with the motorcycle culture. Mm-hmm. He's over in the UK, so a huge salute to him. He's one of the guys that if I ever met him, I'd ask for an autograph and a picture. So for him to even watch this show is like mind blowing to me. When I found out that he enjoyed my show and he'd get a kick out of it, I was just so mind blown by that. But I've also noticed him talking about the police and how they harass bike, like they want to get rid of patches out here. They like the biking clubs. Like, no matter if you're MC, MCC, riding club, whatever it is, they want to get rid of back patches altogether. But where does that stop? Because I've got back patches on my vest. You've seen them. So if they saw that, they'd be like, he's wearing back patches. We got to get rid of him. So now even the punk culture, the heavy metal culture, and some of these hip hop guys that wear the vests, they're probably going to be like, sorry, you can't have back patches on. Because that's where it all starts, right? Because when you think about it, If they sit there and say you can't have skinhead music and they don't even understand it, when do they go, oh, this Black Flag logo, which was seen on Henry Rollins when he played a white supremacist on Sons of Anarchy, there's that Black Flag logo. We don't know what it means. We'll just consider it racist. That's banned now. Yep. Because of sheer fucking ignorance and by generalizing the rules. Because they don't look into it. They don't know what that back patch means. That back patch could be a dedication to somebody who passed away, much like what my back patch is dedicated to Brian Deneke. That's the ignorance that we're dealing with. And the problem is, it's not just the system, brother. It's not just the corruption. It's not just the tyrannical government. It's the people. Because if I had a Black Flag tattoo on my bicep, right now, and somebody who's seen Sons of Anarchy, who's out in the streets protesting, be like, I know that symbol from that racist guy in the show Sons of Anarchy. There's a fucking white supremacist. Get him. And I'm like, whoa. That's not what it is, but it's too late. I'm already getting fucking my brains beaten out on the fucking sidewalk. It's sheer ignorance. And I get that there's anger. I understand why people are angry. I totally get it, but it's in the wrong direction. And that's how I feel. Delboy says, thanks, dude. And salute to you, sir.
Over here, though, man, like when you get stopped by a cop, sometimes you don't have to give them a reason to be a fucking prick. 90% of the cops I've ever met come up to you and they try to talk to you like they're fucking in charge of you. Automatically, they're being a prick. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's inevitable that once they get a little bit of power, and they think they can make you do what they want because they can kill you if you don't, you know what I'm saying? Then they let it go to their fucking head. And I mean, I've met some cops that come up joking with me and shit. That was cool. But
it's rare, isn't it?
It's very rare, yeah. It's not very often that
Too
happens.
Rare. Remember that Family Guy skit? It's one of my favorites. Peter was claiming to be black, and he's like, wait, you're that black guy from the TV? And he goes, yep. And he goes, I need backup. This guy's resisting arrest. What? He's got a gun. What? He shoots himself and lays on the ground. Officer down. And he's like, what the fuck just happened? Like, and the thing is, when I saw that, I didn't laugh. I didn't laugh because I was just like, how fucking accurate, to the punches that. But it's not even because Ice-T said it best in that song Body Count. When we say Black Lives Matter, we mean Black Lives Matter at the moment. That's like saying gay lives matter and then you say all lives matter. You're diluting what I'm saying. You're not understanding. But the truth of the matter is, they don't really give a fuck about you when it comes to the dirty fucking rotten truth. Right. And then he kicks into the song and says, it's brown, it's yellow, it's red. You know, it's poor whites that they call trash. You know, when it comes to the poor, no lives matter. It doesn't matter if you're poor white, poor Mexican, poor black, poor whatever. If you're poor, they don't give a fuck about you. Right. And I didn't quite understand that at first. Like, it made sense to me, right? But then there was this theory coming out that they're there to protect and serve the banks. They're there to protect and serve the system. They're not there to protect it, because it doesn't say protect and serve the people. Protect and serve the system. It says to protect and serve. Who are you protecting and who are you serving? Because if I see a cop, I don't feel like you're serving me except anything but fucking papers. Or like when I see you, it's a fucking warrant or whatever the fuck it is. Like, who are you really protecting and serving? Like, nobody ever did a song called Fuck the Fire Department.
Right. Or fuck the ambulance drivers.
Right. Yeah. Fuck the ambulance drivers, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
bro.
Jackie Wojak is here. Oh, my God. I just want to take like 10 seconds here to really enjoy this. I've still been locked up in quarantine, so I just want to stare at her picture real quick. And I'm good. Delboy Dibber says, in the UK, they can search club members under the Anti-Terrorism Act, and they've done that to bikers entering an event. That's fucked. That is dangerous. That's because you can label Antifa a terrorist group now, right?
Yeah. Black
Lives Matter a terrorist group. But how come the cops aren't getting that label? And now they can sit there and put anything underneath it. Patriot Act, for example. George Bush, when he came out and he's like, we shut down the meth labs because of the Patriot Act. What does that have to do with bombing planes and crashing into towers, sir? Question up front, please. No? Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll just get ignored. That's okay, too. Because think about it. If you want to get rid of the meth problem, you just get an alligator hopped up on PCP and let him into the fucking thing. That's what you do. That saves lives. It saves money, right? PCP, they've got that in the fucking evidence locker. And alligators, they're a dime a dozen down in Florida. You take down the meth lab. There should be a war on terror. Just sick alligators are hopped up PCP, send them in. Right? Less casualties that way. And imagine Jimmy when he walks up to his friend. Hey, Jimmy, what happened to your arm? fucking alligator, man, fucking took it right up. There was a meth lab fucking busting. And they'd be like, oh, we're shutting down our labs. I'm not getting my arm ripped off by a fucking alligator.
Methed up on some fucking ice? Hell no.
All cops are bottoms is what Jackie Wojak said. Speaking of bottoms, how is your bottom doing, Jackie? Hello, Sid. Greetings from Finland. Thank you, Henry, for being here. Appreciate you greatly. But Twiggy says that's why I believe citizens need to have some kind of police power, because cops need to be reminded that they are citizens as well. The badge means your job is important, but it doesn't mean you are above anybody. And that's another issue that we have, isn't it? Where now we've got undercover cops. They don't have to wear the uniform, and they've got a badge that's hidden, right? If we had to have badges or whatever that was fucking hidden, they'd arrest us.
Mm-hmm.
And there was, for a while, you weren't allowed to get pulled over if it was an undercover cop. If an undercover cop pulled you over, it wasn't allowed to go through court. Now it is.
Well, yeah. Now in Michigan, they're not allowed to partake in pursuits. So if you run, they're not supposed to chase you, but they can call somebody else in with the car that can. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and we allowed this to happen. Like, let me get something straight here. We the people allowed this shit back in the day, and I don't know if you even heard about this, but there used to be a cap on lobbying.
Mm-hmm.
So if you were like the NRA and you wanted to lobby for firearm rights, you had a cap. It was, let's call it $20,000. Let's call it $20,000, right? There was at least a cap on it. Now there isn't one. So now that gives absolute power in the political battlefield for corporations, for mass things like the NRA, tobacco companies, the alcohol companies, Walmart, Sam's Club, Meijer, you name it. Because we don't have a fucking chance. If I said I don't have much, but I have $30 and I'd like to put that towards our science program, they'd be like, or we could take the $500,000 from this company over here and put that towards fucking getting rid of toxic waste. What am I going to take? $30 or that $300,000? Which one? And it's going to be a fucking no-brainer. It's all about the money now, and that's why we need a clean house. That's why when Trump said drain the swamp, I'm like, fuck it. You vote for me in 2024, there isn't going to be a fucking swamp. Every politician gets a fucking pink slip. If you're a career politician, you're gone. And I'm replacing it by jury selection through the people where if you get called, you will be living in D.C., making the money that Congress was making. Making the money that Congress was making. So you're not making pennies and dollars like you would be at a fucking jury. And that's plenty where we liquidate the fucking government, get rid of the FCC. We don't fucking need that. Do we need the FCC? I'm pretty sure that shit's fucking obsolete, right?
Right.
You can say anything you want on TV now. I've seen The Walking Dead. When Negan was bashing heads in, I'm like, is the FCC sleeping? Like, what the fuck? And I figured if we get rid of those buildings, now we can house not just veterans that are homeless, but now we can house the people that are going to be in Congress. You see what I'm saying? Give people a tax break for 4 years. Watch how much money goes into the economy. Like, you don't need stimulus checks. You make it so they don't have to do that shit. We let this happen.
Yeah, we did, for sure. First thing I think needs to happen is to stop taxing people's fucking wages, man. Stop taxing their labor. It's in their own laws. You can't tax labor anyway. Like, if I'm working at a body shop or a fucking car shop or some shit, I can't tax the labor. I can tax the fucking parts. You know what I'm saying? What makes them fucking any better than us to be able to tax the fucking labor? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's fucked.
Jackie Wojak says, Sid, you dog, it's good putting away groceries and listening. Do you need help getting things on that top shelf by chance? I'd not mind doing it.
Reach a top shelf anyway.
Hey, I can still at least offer assistance. I'll just grab her like this and lift her up. And I can say shit like that. After the shit that Trump had said, I'm allowed to say some things like that. I'm sorry. At least I'm being somewhat delicate about it, and I'm using hand motion.
Oh, man. Hey, man. Trump ain't never said anything that fucking a normal dude wouldn't fucking say to another dude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Locker room talk, as they called it.
Yeah, and do you know what's really funny about that? I actually got
into a higher perspective.
Excuse me. I need to take a sip before I tell you this. I need to take a sip. This is going to hurt my pride. So I actually, I'd actually like to thank Donald Trump for a few things. One, thank you for actually for sending me that check. That went right into my 2024 fucking campaign budget. Thanks, Trump.
Hell yeah.
Second, more importantly, I was working at Home Depot, and my friend and I, we had our issues with the place. And I told him we should do a live stream just talking about Home Depot, right? Because he was down that day, so I was trying to cheer him up. I get called into the office because somebody went and reported that to my manager. And my manager sat me down. I looked at him dead in the eye. I swear to God, no smirk, no laugh, no cockiness, no nothing. I looked right at him. I said, oh, the live stream thing where That was locker room talk, man. Dougie was having a bad day. He was going through some shit. It was just locker room talk. I fucking got out. No write-up, no warning, no nothing. I was like, it fucking worked. See? I was like, how do I thank this guy? Without sounding like an asshole. How do I thank? Like, because you got to think, like, he really did. He said some things. He's done some things, like he's made fun of people with mental retardation, which I am not for. I'm really not.
I don't believe that either. I mean, that was all fucking news clippings put together to make it sound like that, dude. He does that to everybody he don't agree with, or every fucking reporter that he doesn't like. He makes the same fucking movements, man. Like you can see it on anybody that he talks to like that. He'll fucking act like, oh, I don't, you know what I'm saying? And that's exactly what he did with this guy. I don't think he's ever met this guy to say that he was, you know, to know that he was handicapped.
Yeah, because Trump doesn't really do his homework. And the other thing I feel bad for Trump is, like, if he just stopped talking, like, there's been things that he has said. I'm like, okay, stop right there. End it right there. Walk. He's still talking. Fuck. But I will say this. I said this, and I said this very publicly. Give the fucker a chance. I said the same thing about Obama. I said the same thing when I was a fucking kid. I said the same thing about Bush. And as a kid, I was like, I'm taking Bush over John Kerry. John Kerry came out and he said, if you don't go to college, you'll end up in Iraq. And I went, so I'm 14. I don't know shit about politics, but I know that guy is not going to win. But right. He came out and said that, and I'm like, that's dumb. Biden did the same kind of shit. And I'm like, guess you're not getting elected either. Did you not learn from John? Like, the Democrat Party doesn't learn from their mistakes at all. No. Like, at least with the Republican parties, they tried bringing out a fucking Mormon. I'm like, that's ballsy. Like, that's probably the most liberal thing you fuckers have done, is trying to bring out a fucking Mormon, because you guys are all about Christianity and shit. This guy worships, you know, Adam or Joseph Smith. Worships Joseph Smith. You know, so I'm like, that. Okay, I give you props on that. Like, you actually tried pushing this guy. Multiple wives. I like the multiple wives angle. That's always good. And so I saluted them for that. Did I like the guy? Fucking no, but I liked their ambition. With the Democrats, they always go with the safe bet. They went with Hillary fucking twice.
Yeah.
Fucking twice. And I'm like, you didn't fucking learn at all. You know what I mean? And with Sarah Palin, at least John McCain, he at least went for a governor in fucking Alaska, pulled her out of a fucking hat. And I'm like, that's ballsy for the Republicans to actually pull a female for vice president. Your tactic is sound, but your people are bad. And with the Democrats, both their people and their tactics are fucking bad. Like Obama, he came out, got his Nobel Peace Prize, and then announced the drones program. And I went, irony? Was that a joke? Like, was he trying to be funny? Oh, no, he was being fucking serious. And the thing is, they came out and they said, we don't know if we get the terrorists with these things. I'm sorry, so you're bombing civilians and crossing your fingers? Like, pray it's one of the bad guys or we're going to get backlash. Pray it's one of the bad guys. Fuck, it wasn't. Same thing happened with the Clintons. You know, they bombed a factory and it was for fucking penicillin. I'm like, damn it. Again, as a kid, 9 years old, I'm like, that's bad. Like, I'm dumb and shit, don't know anything, but I can tell you that penicillin doesn't sound bad. We didn't get terrorists out of it. Fuck! Missed it again.
With these Republican and Democratic parties and shit, like,
actually, that time
I've noticed that Trump's did some numbers. He's actually done some shit. You know what I'm saying? He fucking ended the shit with fucking Russia. He started making China pay our money back. But
aren't we in debt with China though?
What's
that? I thought we're the ones that are in debt with China.
It's kind of like it's a weird situation how it works, man. They're in debt to us, we're in debt to them. You know what I'm saying? It's weird. But
real quick here, Diver said,
the fucking Democratic Republican Party, man. Like, we're technically by our forefathers, we're supposed to be living in a republic. We got Republicans preaching that we need to keep this democracy alive. What the fuck, man? If you're Republican, why are you preaching democracy? That's what I want to know. And every Republican I've seen do it. You know what I'm saying? They've all done it. And
by our system, we actually live in an oligarchy. It's a bleeding of different systems. We got the Congress, we've got the Senate, and we've got the presidency. The presidency represents dictatorship, believe it or not. That's what it represents. Because what the founding fathers did is they took all these different systems, combined them, and said this is the shelf life of each system, where it's just a Congress, just a fucking Senate, and then the tyrannical governments. So if we combine them and average them out, it'll last longer. But this is supposed to be fucking temporary.
The people are supposed to be in charge. Yeah, like we're not supposed to have a leader. We're supposed to all lead equally.
And I'm trying to lead by example with this fucking network. Like that's what I'm trying to do. Is I'm like, there's a war on free speech. I want to do this. I don't want it to just be my fucking opinion. I don't want to be on here fucking every single day. I want other people to be on here. I want to be able to wake up at 9 o'clock in the morning, 10 o'clock in the morning, and see you or Bree Taylor and me popping up and being like, oh shit, they're live. Like I can't wait to see what this is about. And it's on my own fucking network. Like I don't need anybody to run shit by me. Yeah. You feel me? Dude, I've got like 15, 20 admins for this page right now for good fucking reason, because there's 15, 20 different perspectives on this. And I want everybody to have to say, if you're pro-Trump, you're pro-Democrat, you're pro-libertarian, you're pro-anarchy, you're BLM, you're this and you're that, you should have a right to fucking speak.
Right, exactly.
People are willing to hear you. And that's what I'm dedicating this to. Real quick, though, Dibber made a funny comment. I want to get to that real quick. Multiple wives, you're a brave man, Sid. I had enough only having one. But I figured if I've got more than one, there's options. All right, it's kind of like picking out new clothes the next day. It's like, this one will do. I'm feeling this kind of way, and then she likes the collars and the leash. So you're up, sweetheart. And that's what I'm kind of going for here. It's community. It's about the community.
Yeah.
Every seat in the House should be temporary. Agreed, which is why I'm implementing the system. Every 4 years, check this out, every 4 years, people would cycle out. So you'd have 4 years being in this Congress where it's just by the people, for the people, by jury selection. They'd leave after their 4 years, right? Severance pay for everybody. They'd have enough money to where they could live without having to look for another job. Then another batch comes in 4 fucking years. And anybody who opposes that idea is a career fucking politician. Because I know there's people like, I don't know shit about laws and whatnot, but that kind of pay rate and me actually having a say. Because here's the thing. You'd have Jim, Joe, Bob sitting in Congress being like, oh, fuck, did we pass this bill? I should call my neighbor. I should call my mom. I should call my dad. I should call my brother, my cousins, my aunts, my uncles, and ask for their opinions. Because it's still the fucking people's opinion.
Yeah. Yeah.
By the people, more of that. For the people.
We don't need lawmakers. The laws that we're supposed to be following are already in place. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are laws. I don't know why we keep creating new fucking laws or statutes or whatever the fuck they want to call them. The statutes are not supposed to apply to us anyway. Statutes are fucking bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Those are supposed to apply only to the fucking employees of the government. Just like Walmart. Walmart has statutes for their employees. Doesn't mean because I live next door to Walmart, I got to follow by the rules. You know what I'm saying? Like, the rules don't apply to me.
Well, that's actually at your local level. So what a lot of people don't know is that more laws are passed in local legislation than they are down at Capitol Hill.
Yeah.
So that means whoever you vote for locally, that's where your laws are made. So really, when you think about it, federal law comes in at Capitol Hill, right?
Oh, yeah. Legislation is supposed to be Congress anyway, right?
Right.
Congress has no jurisdiction outside of D.C.
Right. So you'd have U.S. senators in 2024 when this gets implemented. There would be Americans serving in D.C., which would also become local legislation. You were getting rid of career politicians. And so the people would be selecting their laws, deciding on things in their states. For instance, in New Hampshire, there was a woman. She came out. She was an EMT, and she says, I can't use a switchblade if I'm off duty. And if I get a call saying I got to save somebody's life, or I hear it on the radio and I show up, I'm a first responder, and I'm off the clock, I can't use my switchblade to save somebody's life. New Hampshire didn't go, well, we'll just make it so that way the EMTs get their knives or whatever. They went, do we really need knife laws? Do we need them? Kind of weird, right? Like it's the 21st century. Who's walking around with a bunch of, fuck it, let's just get rid of knife laws. Really? Switchblades, stilettos? Yeah. So no laws at all. Right. Which means a 12-year-old can carry a knife. Exactly. Yeah, let's sign off on that. And they fucking did.
Yeah.
That was New Hampshire. Michigan's way fucking behind on that. You gotta have a concealed carry permit if you're a female or a male. Pepper spray, mace,
a knife over 3 inches.
Yeah, and that sucks when it comes to like my fucking karambit, because they look at that and be like, I have no idea. But fucking tasers and stun guns, you got to have a concealed carry permit for that. And as we know in the state of Michigan, it's not easy to get a concealed carry permit, which means Michigan is very anti-woman, and that to me spells out pro-rape. I'm sorry, but that spells out to me you are for somebody getting raped in a fucking alleyway. And there's a woman in charge right now. Governor Whitmer, if I was a female, right? Even if I wasn't a female.
Still boys.
Even if I wasn't a fucking female, I would sit there and say, okay, so first off, let's get rid of that bullshit because I don't want women to have to walk down alleyways scared anymore. I want them to be able to be like, come at me, bro, with fucking 2 cans of bear spray if they fucking want. Like, that's what I want from Michigan. I want women to be able to protect themselves and defend themselves. Because if you look at the counts of rape, they have gone up significantly in the state of Michigan. And that's fucking scary.
Yeah, it is. It's fucking sad.
And that's just convictions. That's not the loopholes. That's not the plea bar. That is fucking outright.
That's not even counting the rapes that happen within the fucking government.
Right.
State government.
Let's see. See, there needs to be laws for citizens and laws for governing officials. Makes sense. Is illegal to carry concealed, and then there's some things you can't even carry at all, like hunting knives. You can't carry those open carried anymore. That's a contradiction because the courts are 9-10 toward the female. I fucking hate Michigan. And it's sad, isn't it? It's supposed to be like it's the majority of females. Nobody's giving a fuck about the female civilians. That right there should tell you they don't give a fuck about us.
Right. They don't.
Yeah, Ashley used to be able to order a stun gun from the mail. Can't do that shit no more. They won't ship to fucking Michigan.
Nope. Hell no.
It's sad, dude. It's sad. Let me adjust real quick. Yeah. There we go. That's a little
It's fucking crazy, bro. Like, we got police out in the streets using fucking tear gas on motherfuckers, right? Is it a war crime to use tear gas? Even in war?
So one of the interesting things about tear gas is it's actually kind of a loophole. So what's actually illegal, and this is according to the Geneva Convention, is things like mustard gas. Those kinds of lethal gases, because it's not considered lethal, it's considered less lethal now. So back in the day, they used to call it non-lethal force. You remember that? If you used a baton, it was called non-lethal. Now they actually have to call it less lethal. So we're making like a slight bit of headway. We moved it like a centimeter forward with that. But now with like tear gas, what they say is, oh, well, it doesn't actually cause respiratory illnesses and shit like that. But who's doing the studies on that? And that's how they get away with using tear gas. Yeah. Because even though it's oh, whoa, what just happened?
Some people say it has a longer term effect.
Yep. And the thing is, in order to do a study like that, it's going to take 7 fucking years to really find out if it's got long term. So you got to literally stick somebody in a room, throw a tear gas canister in it, leave them in there for, say, 20 minutes, and then take them out and be like, all right, we'll see you again in 7 years. Let's see what happened to you.
Yeah.
Because the same thing they do with prescription meds and all that shit.
I truly believe that these riots, everything like this, they knew was going to happen. Mm-hmm. I knew that all these fucking states that are keeping their states shut down and people are getting restless. You know what I'm saying? Like, people were fucking getting pissed. They were fucking already protesting the fucking governors and shit for keeping it closed down. Well, I'm pretty sure that where the money's coming from for all these riots and shit, where these bricks are getting dropped in the middle of the city, I'm pretty sure the same people are funding the fucking states to keep shut. Like, they want people to get in an uproar, and then all of a sudden this shit happens. So I can't say this was planned. This whole murder of George Floyd is planned, but it's sure, if you watch all the different fucking camera angles and all the different camera shit for the whole time, shit doesn't add up. You know what I'm saying? Like, why did they end up across the street from where they originally had them handcuffed at, sitting in the car, and then they pull them out the car, and then they fucking end up killing them? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's multiple shit going on that fucking doesn't make sense, doesn't add up. But it seems like somebody wanted these people to get restless before something like this happened, and then as soon as it happened, it went fucking haywire, man. That's why everybody started burning shit down, getting pissed off. It's like,
pretty fucking convenient timing, isn't it?
Yeah, like, yeah, it is.
Isn't that like so? It's like that in the court of the people would be called what's it called? That is circumstantial evidence.
Yeah,
right. Exactly. Dibber says he was tear gassed multiple times in the 70s and the 80s, and it didn't do me any harm. But laugh my ass off.
Hell
that's
yeah.
Good. So, but that's it's interesting, right? Like that's what they'd call circumstantial evidence because it all lines up, it all sets up, but there's no physical evidence for that. And then there was the bricks that just ended up on the pallets in front of stores, which I never saw pictures of, by the way. I never saw video of. Nobody sent that to me. Everyone sends me some other crazy shit that happens. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, it's like waking up and I'm like, please tell me there's good news. Please tell me that I'm gonna wake up and Jackie Wojak has sent me some sort of like bikini pictures. Tell me something good. Oh, fuck, Baltimore's burning. God damn it. I was hoping for Jackie Wojak photos. Fuck. So I wake up to news like that, and it's terrifying, the world that we live in. Because I'm worried about what comes in my inbox now. I'm worried about what's happening and what, more importantly, what we could do about it. Because at this point, there is no talking these people down. Like, you'd have to speak on their behalf and say, hey, listen, you'd have to get everybody together and say, let's make an agreement. Let's get together and do this. Let's come up with this fucking solution. Now, it doesn't matter really who's in fucking charge right now. It's the fact that these laws are still implemented. Like, you can sit there and blame Trump. He wanted a fucking photo of him at a fucking church with a fucking Bible in his hand. And like I said, I think the guy's focus is definitely the wrong places, but it does ask the question. You brought this up earlier and we kind of got sidetracked, so I'm going to get you back on track with that.
Yep.
Say somebody, let's say Biden, for example, is president of the United States, convicted pedophile, right? He's a convicted pedophile, but it was like a misdemeanor because you can't be a felon and president. Just can't happen. So let's say it was a misdemeanor. Let's say it was a class A misdemeanor sexual assault charge, right?
Yep.
Let's say that. And you're like, well, fuck this guy, but he somehow gets into office. So everyone's like, fuck this guy, fuck this guy. What if he turned around and fixed the economy? What if he turned around and made it so that way cops had to walk around with, like, you know, those foam swords instead of batons? Like, what if he did something? Would that oversee the fact that he sexually assaulted somebody? In my eyes of the public, that's all they focus on.
It seems, yeah, exactly. Because, like, you got Donald Trump come out, right? He had an audio of him saying he's grabbing girls by the pussy and shit. That shit stuck with this motherfucker. He supposedly made fun of this handicapped reporter. That shit stuck with him. You know what I'm saying? So, like, and he's made changes. He's made numbers. He had unemployment real fucking low, like an all-time low, and before the fucking Corona shit went on. Right.
Again, pretty fucking convenient timing, isn't it?
Convenient, yeah. But then, like, people still don't like this motherfucker, even though he's making changes that people ain't really seeing, because they're not paying attention to that kind of shit. They're paying attention to this, or this. Like, he's getting rid of fucking unnecessary funding. Like, why are we spending money on a lot of this stupid shit that we're spending money on? You know what I'm saying? And I like that part about him. I don't think he's cut out to be a politician. He's more of a businessman. But
he said that. He did come out and say, I want to run this like a fucking business. And we all looked at his Trump stakes and shit like that. And we're like,
ever since 1913 or 1933? 1933, we went fucking bankrupt. We became a corporation. You know what I'm saying? So
that was in the 1800s when we became a corporation. That was in the 1800s.
Hold on. The Act of 1870 1876 or some shit.
It was when we officially became a corporation. Well, then not 40 years later, we're in the fucking Great Depression it was 1919, I think is what it was. If I'm not mistaken.
Hold up.
Yeah, let's fact check that real quick. I don't want to spew false.
I'm thinking it's 1933 we went bankrupt and all that good shit.
Well, that was because I thought it was like right around the because World War II is really what got us out of the Depression. Because the New Deal did dog shit for us.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Era of the Great Depression.
Yeah. March 9th, 1933.
Damn.
Public Law 89 through 719 declared by President Roosevelt. That's what it was.
Okay. So it's kind of interesting too, right? That the stock market completely crashed, the banks went out, and then the same thing happened in 2008. And then we had the Occupy movement.
Yeah, that's when we stopped being a republic. Is when we went bankrupt. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And it makes you wonder, like, what did they gain? Because if you look at the New Deal, half of it didn't fucking stick. Prohibition came out of the New Deal. Like, oh yeah, by the way, there's a Great Depression. You don't get to buy alcohol. Wait a minute, we're fucking depressed. We're fucking upset. What do you mean we don't get alcohol?
Yeah, same thing happened with weed.
Yeah, how many people were jailed, gunned down, and killed for alcohol?
Yeah, same thing with weed, man. Motherfuckers die from weed, just getting pulled over with a bag of weed. They get killed. They get seen smoking weed in public. They end up getting killed because they don't want to fucking. You know, it seems like always the potheads that stand up for themselves against the cops. They're always the more woke ones. You know what I'm saying?
Which is fucking weird because you don't picture that shit. All like, hey man,
because they think about shit more. They actually think about logic and how shit doesn't seem to make sense. You know what I'm saying? Everything that's going on right now, like if you understand like how shit's supposed to work and how shit's actually working, it's just common sense that'll show you that it's not working right. You know what I'm saying? It's just common sense saying that, wait, these people ain't supposed to be killing us. You know what I'm saying? If you could shoot somebody with a regular bullet than you can shoot them with a fucking rubber bullet. If you're trained in hand-to-hand combat, you can subdue somebody without fucking hurting them at all. You know what I'm saying? But when you're trained to hurt somebody, you put your knee in their neck. That's fucking training, dude. They're trained to do that on purpose. That's not something that they just do.
Actually, I interviewed a cop recently on my show twice. And she said, we're not actually trained to do that. That's spec ops training. That's not what we are trained to do as cops. We actually are told that don't go for the neck, because you can die. So what he had done was self-trained, or he was trained elsewhere from that, or it was his fucked up department. But either way.
I also seen old girl you were interviewing say that when she was in training, she seen somebody doing something she didn't agree with, but she didn't do anything to stop it. That's what makes a good cop. You step in, you stop it. It's like, no, this is not what we're doing. This is against your fucking oath, first of all. And if you're going to do it, I'm going to place you under arrest. That's what a good cop would do. You know what I'm saying? A good cop would step in and be like, no, fuck this. You're not doing this in front of me, especially. I'm not going to be sitting here, because that cop is fucking, when he takes an oath, man, it's his duty to fucking stand up, protect somebody's rights. When a cop is fucking hurting somebody, or, even if they're fucking already in handcuffs and you're still fucking hurting a motherfucker, like, they're not a threat. Leave them the fuck alone. Put them in the car, shut the door, and leave them alone. You know what I'm saying? No, they want to pull them back out the car, fucking get them on the ground and kill them.
Smash their head up against the fucking trunk end of it. Like, they just love it, man. They love the fucking violence. And and she said it best. Like, if we want to get rid of this problem, we got to psychologically evaluate motherfuckers better. Like, that's something we have to do. We have to evaluate better than that.
But yeah, they psychologically evaluate normal people that live out here trying to buy a gun. You can't even get a gun without going through this shit. But cops, just go through a training class, do exactly what we tell you, and you can be a cop.
Yeah, and then your evaluation comes dead last.
Yeah.
You get your training and everything else. Oh, by the way, you also need a psych evaluation. We forgot to mention that part.
Yeah. Or if they kill somebody, they'll do a psych evaluation and then somehow not hold them accountable. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't get it. They're always trying to fucking justify murder, and there's no justification for killing anybody. And you're not God. You have no right punishing people for any of their sins. I don't give a fuck who you are. That's God's job. We're not here to step in and play for God. We're not here to do that. You know what I'm saying? So don't fucking do it. Don't fucking pull people over. Don't arrest them for fucking weed. Don't arrest them for fucking any kind of drugs. Unless they're hurting somebody in some way, shape, or form, leave them the fuck alone.
But what should the accountability level be? Because we heard about that woman, Amber, whatever the fuck her name was, down in Texas, walked into somebody else's apartment, shot him, thinking it was her place. She got 10 years. I'm like, if I'd have done some shit like that, I'd get the death penalty in Texas.
An eye for an eye, is what I say. An eye for an eye. You kill somebody, you deserve to die. Especially when you do some stupid shit like that.
And the fucked up thing is, though, is that they don't hold cops at the same level as they do civilians. That's my issue. It's where if I'm going to get the death penalty, right, then so should a fucking cop. A cop should be held at a higher standard where it's like, listen, we've trained you. You have done this. And you fucked up. You killed somebody. Now we got to fucking hang out in the backyard, man. Like, that's some shit. But instead, it's like, oh, well, they're a cop. They've done this. Let's just give them a few years in prison. Let them think about it. Do you think that bitch is going to end up in general population? Fucking no.
No, they're going to end up at home with the fucking
bracelet.
Yeah, with the fucking bracelet on their ankle because they don't want them getting killed in prison. But, it's fucking retarded, man. So what do we do? Like, that's the question, right? We've established there's a problem. Now, together, all of us here in the chat and all of us watching, we need a solution. So with every problem, there's a solution.
Exactly. And finding the problem is half the battle, because now you got to figure out how to solve this. So what if we had something to where you shut off your body cam? That's a $500,000 fine for your department.
Yeah.
Guess whose body cams are going to start suddenly working again?
How about if you unjustly kill somebody, you die. You get put to death.
Can we bring back the death penalties?
By the family of the victim that died. You know what I'm saying?
I've said the same shit. And the best part would be is if we could put that live on pay-per-view, because that would really balance the budget.
Yeah. That.
Like think about it. If I put like somebody who's like, imagine Jeffrey Dahmer getting executed publicly, and you put that on pay-per-view for $75, motherfuckers are gonna buy that shit. We're fucked up enough that we do that. We would balance the budget that fucking quick. George Carlin's idea.
Oh yeah, fucking love George Carlin, man.
Man was a genius.
Priceless.
Let's burn people in oil. Let's burn them at the stake. It's fucking great.
Oh, bro. Like, I know that, all of us have a right to defend ourselves against unlawful arrests, right? So if we're defending ourselves against unlawful arrest, even to the point where the cop's trying to kill somebody and we defend a person or ourselves against being killed and we kill the officer, these other cops ain't going to show up and show you any kind of fucking due process. You know damn well they're going to show up and they're going to fucking kill you, or they're going to beat the shit out of you and arrest you and throw you in a cell and not give you a chance to say anything. That's how it works, man. Like we're that's what we need to stand against. No matter who it is, no matter what color you are, there's corruption that goes on all over this country that needs to be stopped. It needs to be stopped, and it needs to be stopped. And it ain't gonna happen unless we do a revolution. We need a revolution. Fighting these small little problems here and there, like the racial injustice and the fucking poor people getting the shitty end of the deal. That's not gonna work. We need to hit the main problem right where it fucking stems from.
That's what I was telling people. Why are you burning down homes when there's Capitol buildings that you could actually infiltrate and fucking occupy? What's the governor going to do?
We own them buildings. You know what I'm saying?
You're absolutely right.
We provide the money for them buildings to run. We provide everything in the police stations, the fucking Capitol buildings, any government office. We own that shit. We have every right to be there, and they can't tell us not to. We have a right to video record everything they do because they're public servants. Yeah, they're public servants.
They work for us. Like, we don't work for them. Like, excuse me, sir. Like, do you know who pays your fucking bills? Mm-hmm. Asshole. And that's a problem. We don't see it that way. Like, when people stormed into the Capitol building, what I saw was, yo, hold up. They're in there with guns, 0 arrests. Why are the rioters burning down homes? Go in there, board up that shit, and say we're the new government of Michigan. What's Whitmer going to do? Come down in her fucking nightrobe and pound at her door and be like, "Let me in." And we're going to be like, "Oh yeah, sure, we should probably do that." Or we're going to be like, "Nah, this isn't yours anymore. We were seizing your property. Actually, consider this a lien on our property that we've paid for. You can go home now. Your services are no longer fucking required."
Yeah, yep. I'd put police. There would be no more of these city police, township police, all these de facto governments and shit would be gone. You know what I'm saying? We have states, we have geological locations. Like, there's no such thing as a geological location of a fucking township. You know what I'm saying? When you look at a map, like an actual fucking atlas, you don't see townships, you don't see counties, you don't see cities. You know what I'm saying? You see a geographical location of like a state, a country, a continent. You know what I'm saying? So why are these little fucking things popping up? They're sectoring off little parts of the state, saying this government's going to run this government's going to run this. You know what I'm saying? And then we're going to have little police. We're going to hire a private police force, security force. We're going to call them police officers and allow them to go out there and do the job of a sheriff and arrest people. You know what I'm saying? A job of a peace officer. And they're not really peace officers.
So what you're talking about is gerrymandering districts, which the Republicans have mastered. When they say this is going to be us, this is going to be this is going to be District 1, District 5, District 7. When you were in school, they flat out said it. Like, I was District 9. Mm-hmm. Okay? I was District 9. So they'd say, all right, so pick up the kids on the bus in District 9, send these buses out. Yep. But if you gerrymander the districts, now the buses end up going from, like, just North Conway all the way to fucking Bartlett and shit. So there's problems with this, man. Is that we've allowed people to take control. We've put in career politicians that know how to play the game. It's become a fucking spectacle rather than politics. It's become about who puts on the brightest lights, the fucking, like, you watch. In 2020, wait for Joe Biden to come out with fucking dry ice. You know, dry ice and fucking smoke machines. He just comes out looking like a fucking rock star, like a creep, like, hey. You're going to start seeing that shit. So in 2024, we give them a fucking show. We steal the attention away from fucking everybody. That's how we win. It's not about who's got the better policies. I could sit there and say, I could walk out to the song Hang 'em Fucking High. People would sing the lyrics, not understanding what it's about. And the politicians being all fucking locked up, dude in a fucking gorgeous studded vest, sexy fucking mohawk, coming out with fucking pyro, just smothering the fucking show. And me just being like, yeah, you're all fired once I'm hired.
Exactly.
And then I just fucking walk off that stage. Nobody would give a fuck. Like Joe Rogan could be doing the podcast asking fucking Joe Schmo a fucking question. He'd be like, can we just go back to that clip real quick of that entrance? Because that was fucking amazing. That's all the media would talk about. That's exactly what Trump had mastered. I'm going to say this outlandish thing of grabbing him by the fucking pussy, knowing that's all they're going to talk about. In a sense, the left got Trump fucking elected.
Yeah, they did.
It's a chess game. And Twiggy's right. I was saying this earlier. It's chess, not checkers. So if we come together with a fucking solution, and it's easy to do, all you got to do is fucking compromise. Like, for example, if you and me came up with an issue, like I'm for something, you're against something, and you're like, all right, well, if I would need to fucking compromise, something's got to give. What am I willing to sacrifice? Right. That's not my fucking rights, right? Like, what do I have to, like, all right, what are my policies that I could really adjust on? All right, so maybe I'm not going to make it so that way I change the national anthem. Maybe I'll give that up, and in exchange, maybe we can have freedom of speech back. I would give that up gladly. But we don't have politicians willing to do that. Now there's like no give. If you bargain with the other side, like you're a fucking tyrant, your party will disown you.
Right. Exactly.
If you bring up a candidate they don't like the Republicans are notorious for cannibalizing their fucking own, dude. It sucks.
You know, I see all these new laws popping up everywhere, right? There's laws saying that an officer must now exhaust all other forces before using deadly force. They must now, if they see an officer using unnecessary force, they need to stop them. Like, this is already something they should be doing, man. I think they're just making these laws to make people happy and shut up, when actually these laws already exist. They already took an oath. You know what I'm saying? They're supposed to stand up and say something to these other officers. They're not supposed to be trying to kill people, but they're doing it. And
so basically, yeah. So it's a publicity stunt at this point. If you've already sworn to protect and serve, and again, not clear on who you're protecting and serving, and taking all these oaths and shit, because apparently it comes with like a little asterisk down at the bottom. Yeah.
And now we need to make little legislation going around saying that, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that, when it's already a fucking thing. Like, we don't need that. We just need to uphold what we got.
And it becomes even harder when you start realizing that our decisions that we're making, like the things that we're demanding and how we're demanding them, is actually costing us rights. Like they say, oh yeah, we'll get rid of the Confederate flag, we'll get rid of the Robert E. Lee on the fucking Dukes of Hazzard and shit like that, a show that's been canceled for however fucking long. Like, I don't think anybody gives a shit about that show anyway. I did, and I saw the movie, and I'm like, this is what people are raving about?
Have you heard they're trying to cancel Paw Patrol because it portrays good police officers?
Yeah, they're getting rid of Paw Patrol. They're getting
stupid.
They're getting rid of cops. They're getting rid of Cop Live. They're getting rid of all these different shows. And I'm thinking, well, what's fucking next? Because they were already getting rid of shit. And eventually it's going to be like, oh, this is wonderful. There's going to be no more cops. And they're like, oh, and guess what else there no more is of? Because now if it's racism, like I was telling you with the black flag symbol, and then who knows, they'll be like, well, black flag came around in the 80s. What are all these other band logos that could actually stand for racism? Next thing you know, there's a war on punk rock. Then they go from punk rock to fucking, hey, doesn't those S's in the word KISS look like Russian bolts? We should probably ban KISS now. How many people would be fucking protesting and rioting then, all because their fucking band can't fucking play anymore? That's the road that we're going down, is they're actually taking away freedoms by people doing this. It's actually doing us a disservice. But nobody's seeing that way.
There are racist motherfuckers in the world, but
there are
just like fucking BLM, and just like I, and just like you, we all have a right to our opinion. One may hate that fucking opinion, but that's just how it is, man. That's the fucking thing about America, man. We're allowed to have our own opinions. I mean, we shouldn't be out there fucking hurting people because we don't like them, or you know what I'm saying? Stupid shit like that's just retarded. But whenever you just have an opinion, you're not supposed to act on it all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, people need to realize there's a difference.
Be political about it. Be strategic. Yeah. Like if you actually really want to make a change, look back at how we actually established our own country.
Yeah.
Look back at that, because people think of the Declaration of Independence, but there was 3 articles that were written prior to that, prior to us going to the Revolutionary War. We didn't want to. We asked England, hey, if you give us our own country and shit like that, we'll be fine. We just kind of don't want to be a party. We kind of want to do our own thing. And there was actually somebody in their legislation in Parliament that said, yeah, you know what? I'm actually for them having their own country. Like, we don't fucking need that. It's less work for us. Like, if we give them their own country, it's less work. And hey, maybe we make some allies at the end of the day. But there was people that said, fucking nope. And so we went again, like, pretty, please? No. Dude. So here's your license letting you know that we're going to war with you. Knock yourselves out. And the fucking French came in and helped us. The fucking French.
Yeah.
The French.
That's crazy. You know, you had an idea the other day on the show where I really fucking liked it. I was like, man, that's fucking brilliant, bro. Like, when you talked about reaching out to Mexico, saying, we'll get rid of the law, we'll fucking just help us out. ask Canada for help, and we'll just fucking rule the whole fucking this side of the globe. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Compromise.
we'll be the best fucking side of the planet, and I think that's probably the best way. Because like, if you did that, you wouldn't have people looking at shit like immigration. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't have an immigration issue because they're not immigrants; they're Americans. It's all America. You know what I'm saying? You want to have them problems. You want to have all them issues. People getting pissed off because we're letting them come over here. Like, no, they're already here, motherfucker. This is a big piece of land. Like, they're not coming here. They're crossing a border. That's one thing I didn't like about Trump and the whole fucking shutting the borders down. You know, I mean, I did justify that we got to protect what we got. You know what I'm saying? In a way, in a sense, we got to protect what we got. And if we just let people flood in here, then we're going to be overran. You know what I'm saying? But there's plenty of room. There's plenty of room out there where there are people not living. Look at fucking Colorado's. Look at Wyoming. Look at all that land where people could be at. Yeah, there's fucking plenty of it.
And the best part is too, like if you made Canada a part of it, they'd still have the right to govern that section. You still have Mexico running shit their fucking way. We're just basically saying, hey, listen, if we have a fucking hurricane issue, can you send your hardest working people down in Mexico up to help us out in fucking Louisiana? And they'd say, yeah, actually, we're having a crisis of our own with this drug cartel. If you wouldn't mind sending some of your best fucking spec ops, fucking black ops, fucking whoever it is you got to come down and take care of the drug cartel, we'd gladly come up and help.
Yeah, I'm sure people will be all about exchanging labor for protection other than freedoms. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Or even anything else, anything else. We could be dropping the fucking charge for taking shit across the border into Mexico or Canada, and open it up to Americans. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're from China, if you're from Mexico, if you're from America, if you're from US, if you're from Canada, we should be able to cross the borders. Like, you know, when you cross the border and they don't want you to come in, they're saying, well, you're being denied access to the United States. You're supposed to be like, well, which one? You know, like, who are you to say the whole United States is denying me access? Like,
right. So, exactly. And think about it like that. Like, you wouldn't need fucking passports or special IDs or anything like that to get to Mexico or Canada. Because we're like, yeah, like, let's listen. You don't have to worry about immigration at fucking all. Just fucking close down that shit of the fucking soldiers being down there. We just fucking cross in and shit. And the best part is, you don't have people fucking hiding out anymore. You're getting phone calls from Mexico being like, hey, I found one of those serial killers that you guys are looking for. Yeah, he's down here. You fucking having some drinks and shit. You want to send him up, or you want to come get him? Helicopter, good touch. I like that plan. Just real quick, Bree says, dude, this live keeps skipping for me. I can't watch it. Is everything okay with the thing? I'm not seeing any skipping or.
No, it's going. It's good. It's smooth on my end.
It's looking good on mine. I don't know what's going on. Is it the broad?
I was looking for you, Twiggy.
Yeah, that sounds more like a currency that would make more sense than paper.
Yeah, bro.
Imagine a fucking I don't know what's going on. Twiggy, can you hear us? Like, are we good? Like, here, let me try closing out of it and seeing what it does. I'll try opening it up.
If we actually exchange goods for services or labor for services,
or labor for labor and shit like that, go crazy.
We can make the best country in the world if we can get everybody on the same page. But there's so many people that are so used to having that fucking green dollar in their hand. They're like, oh, makes me more powerful than the next person that don't have it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, money is the root of all evil. There's no fucking lie to
that. Twiggy says we're all good on his end. So I said we keep rolling. But yeah, no, it wouldn't be just a country. It'd be a nation. Think about that.
Yeah,
like say all the time, what this great nation. What's the difference between a country and a nation? Nation to me would be like Canada, Mexico, Central America, South America. Dude, imagine having fucking Brazil on our side. There's like some shit going on. Brazil were the ones that overthrew fucking Cuba when Batista was in charge and fucking Fidel Castro was excommunicated. He was over in Brazil. He brought some of the best people from Brazil over to Cuba and overthrew the motherfucker and said, "This is my country now." Exactly. So if you actually took and if you worked with Cuba, imagine that you're not having another fucking Cuban Missile Crisis at that point because Cuba's going to be like, "Yeah, no, we got you. We got you this time. Next time Russia tries pulling some shit like that, we'll send them a warning." And so people would be like, yeah, I'm not going to go after that country because then we've got fucking every continent on that end of the fucking world willing to go to war for them.
Yeah.
Because we've helped with hurricanes. We've helped with, the issues. And it would make it so that way. We got a great lobby up in Canada. You want to move up to Canada? Fucking great. They could have their own fucking currency. We could do some trades, like whatever the fuck it is. But at the end of the day, when it comes down to like fucking something that goes south, we would be actually working together and we'd be making a stand with everybody else.
Yeah.
And we'd be joining Europe in that sense because Europe, they're just a bunch of countries. There are a bunch of fucking countries. We would end up, it's like, hey, Europe, I see what you're doing over there. We're doing that shit now. Look at Switzerland, strongest economy. All you got to do is call up Switzerland and say, hey, how do you guys kill it over there? You guys got the best chocolate, gorgeous women, the best cheese and cuckoo clocks. Like, how'd you guys fucking do it? And then they tell us their secrets and we'd be like, oh, dope. We're going to try that now. Really? Yeah. Cuckoo clocks. That's new. I guess I'll start making cuckoo clocks part of our fucking thing. Great. Thanks. Hang up the fucking phone and go get to fucking work on how to make this country even better. It's not like we're going to make America great again. It's how do we make it better? Like that. Why don't we have that as a chant? Make it better. Make it better. Yeah. Because it's all about progress. You don't go backwards to make something great. You go forward.
You know, my problem with every fucking president that comes in, they're always talking about bringing jobs. I talked to you about this before. Like, we don't need more jobs, man. We got
need careers.
Jobs. We need careers, yeah.
Absolutely.
Once they start promising careers, that's when it's fucking okay to say, hell yeah, we want that guy in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, careers. We want people that have lifelong careers that can fucking sustain a fucking too many jobs. We got plenty of jobs in the hood. We got plenty of jobs. You can go work at a fucking little party store, but we need careers, man.
I got a solution.
Yeah.
I got a great solution. So instead of people having to work at McDonald's for 12, 13, 14, 15 bucks an hour, have fucking robots, have fucking machines in there that the people are fucking operating, that they can go to fucking what is that thing called? Like that people go to like trade school and shit like that.
Yeah, something.
Yeah, and there's the other thing too that people can go into where it's kind of like a jail, which is really kind of weird that people go into by choice. But there's like curfews and shit like that. Really fucking weird. They go into that. But like trade schools and offering something like that where you can actually have a chance at having a fucking career, at least having a fucking trade, where instead of making 25 bucks an hour, you're making $35, $40 an hour, making sure the robots are fucking doing what they're doing. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, like having it to where all that grunt work is done by machines. We are the ones maintaining the fucking machines. We're the ones that are maintaining everything fucking else. Hey, have you gone over and checked on Robot 32 yet? I'm fucking heading that way. Apparently that one is fucking bobbing its head like fucking crazy and it scared one of the customers. So I got to go fix that real fucking quick. So I'll get to that one. Yeah. And they're fucking making money and they're going to have a great fucking environment. You're not going to be worrying about kids fucking sweating fucking bullets and shit like that. Like they're going to be outside being able to take a smoke break. They've got the little fucking, we got apps and shit. You get a fucking app on your phone that tells you when a thing malfunctions and like, I got to go fix that. Because if you got a call at midnight, hey, listen, I need you to come in for a few hours. One of our robots went haywire and you make it so that way. Yeah, that's time and a half. Anytime you're called into work, I don't mean called into work and you're making money. I mean, you're called into work and it's time and a half, whether you work 20 hours a week or 40 hours a week. Imagine a country just like the others that are doing great, where your mandatory weeks is 32 hours and anything after 32 hours is time and a fucking half. Yeah. Imagine that, where you actually have a fucking career. You're making a fucking living. So it's not just about careers. It's making a fucking living and being happy. Because they were smart, those little bastards back in the fucking 1700s when they said the pursuit of happiness and not the promise of it. I'm like, haha. I raise you, though. I see you, and I raise you this.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly, bro. Couldn't have said it better myself.
So, yeah, you told me that. And I'm like, fuck, that's a good idea. Like, how do we do that? So I went through my fucking brain, and I was like, hey, I got a solution to that. Let's make it so that way we're not doing all the stupid labor. Let's make it so that way we're sending, like if we can make drones that bomb countries with at least precision, if we can fucking... If we can make state-of-the-art sex bots like Japan is doing where it looks like your fucking crush, why are we not upping that game? So you get some of the best scientists from fucking Japan to work with us and like, hey, listen, we want to build up our economy kind of like yours. And that's exactly what they've done. They've done fucking careers. And they work their asses off. Those kids go to school like 60 hours a week, some crazy shit. Like suicide rate is fucking crazy in Japan because of that level. But we don't want to go to that level for our education. We got to get rid of Common Core. We got to make sure that the teachers are able to teach kids, not their perspectives, but teach them how to compromise, teach them, more importantly, all aspects of history that have been washed away.
Yeah, it's because the way the government is right now, I think we need to fight for separation of school and government. Because it takes Like, it takes 15 years to demoralize a whole fucking generation of people, and that's long enough to put somebody through an entire thing at school. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where they get demoralized. They get these wrong ideas about how shit's supposed to work. That's why we get taken over so easily.
How many jobs have you worked at where people gossiped and there was these little cliques and you had this department, friends with this department,
every job ever. Yep.
Every job ever. Every job ever. That's the same shit that happened in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Same shit that happened in high school. You were in school, what, 8 hours a day, just like you are at work. You got lunch periods. You ate lunch when you were told to. And it never changed, right? Like, it's almost like the real world is just a bigger extension of fucking high school. That's what it is.
Exactly, it is.
So when people are like, oh, this guy's unemployed and he's fucking lazy. No, maybe this guy is sick of going to fucking school and being bullied all the time. Maybe this kid's sick of going to fucking this job and being fucking treated like shit and being called in because somebody else isn't doing their fucking job. So if we looked at it as a perspective that we did in fucking school, where we aced it, we fucking, dude, I know you. You're a smart fucking guy. You did great in high school. Guaranteed. You were probably bullied a lot. You were probably one of those kids that fucking sat with the melding pot of all the wackos and the weirdos, right? Like, you had one kid in your group. I know it. And people were like really nice to him just in case he ever decided to shoot the place up.
Hell
there was
yeah,
at least
bro.
one.
Yep. I definitely had one of them guys in my group.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you were extra nice to that guy. Hey, why don't you come sit with us? We're fucking weird, but why don't you come sit with us? That way, in case you ever blow a gasket, you don't blow our heads off.
At least let us know first.
Yeah, at least give us a heads up, and then we won't come to school that day.
So, like, I think a good idea for the school systems, man, I think that we could, because I truly believe that there's a lot of good teachers out there, even though they're not teaching the right shit and the books are fucking wrong. I think a lot of good teachers out there really hope for the best for these kids, right? So I think in order for us to be able to pay these teachers what they actually deserve to be paid, I think we need to shut down the school buildings altogether. Do this all from home on the Zoom. We can do everything online now. Set up, we can put more funding into the teachers. We can put more funding into the fucking sports programs. You know what I'm saying? We can still have little things at the school where the kids can go and fucking all talk and congregate and all that shit and then fucking go back. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but it's at their leisure if they want to.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think we should be forcing these kids to act like, because they expect them all to sit in a classroom. They expect them all to act like little soldiers and not fight with each other. Like, you can't put that many people in a building and not expect difference of opinions to clash and people get into fights and shit. You know what I'm saying? Especially going to school every day for 100+ days a year. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's stupid. I think if we kept them home, we could afford to pay our teachers a lot more. We could afford to put more shit into our sports programs. We could afford to put more shit into our kids rather than.
I just want to ask you a question, though. I'm not a parent, okay? Mm-hmm. A wise man once said, I'm not a parent, but I like to speak on behalf of parents because I'm a middle-aged white man, and that's just what we do.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say if I was a parent, I'd kind of want school simply because my kids are probably going to be rambunctious little assholes, and I'm like, if I could just get 8 hours a day where they could go somewhere. So there is that.
That all comes down to parenting, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never had an issue with my kids because they were always quiet. They're always good. They always do what they're, you know what I'm saying? But I've been around kids that are like, holy fuck, man, I wish you would just go to school already. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
and they're not even your kids. And you're like, fuck, I wish you were anywhere but here.
Hell yeah.
Right? And that's the case, too. It's like it's about accountability and it's about teaching your kids. But and the thing is, and I wanted to say this real quick, I've never been for bullying. But I've always been for retaliation.
Yeah. Twiggy says, plus we need to abolish 36-year mortgages. You know what? I think that right now, with everybody selling their birth certificate at birth, I think we're all prepaid for all of our debts. So I think that, therefore, as soon as you sign for a fucking mortgage, it should be paid for. There should be no money coming out of your pocket because you've already been sold. You know what I'm saying? They owe you. The government owes you money, like a shit ton.
You know, when I run for president, you're definitely going in my cabinet someplace. I'll figure out where I could place you real quick.
Hell yeah.
But you would definitely, you'd probably be my Secretary of Treasury because you'd be like, hey, dude, did you know that there was $600 billion? And I found that trillions of dollars that the Pentagon lost about 10 years ago. You fucking did. No way. Yeah. God, the American people are going to be so fucking happy about this. God damn, I can't wait to tell them.
They're going to be pissed that they fucking were taken advantage of.
Yeah, but who's gonna be the ones pissed when you've got the American people that are in Congress? You don't have career politicians anymore. Guaranteed, though, if I make it a fucking first term, there's gonna be a celebration, not for my birthday, but for the fact that he survived a fucking term without getting shot. That's amazing.
Yeah, we're gonna have to step up security if you get in, bro.
Yeah, a lot of security. I'm gonna need a lot of fucking security.
Not even against the people. I'm just talking about against.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be like fucking crazy politicians and shit. Like we'd have civilians like standing at the fucking front gates with their fucking guns and shit, being like, "Yeah, we can't let fucking Lee Harvey Oswald out of jail like that."
Yeah.
That'd be fucked. You hear they're gonna let that guy who shot John Lennon out? God damn, that would be bad. Because if they do, like if they let that guy out, where it's like, hey, they decided to let him out, I'd be like, fuck. I know why they did that shit. Yeah. But the best part is we'd be in control. It'd be some out of work politician who's scruffy, over fucking weight, didn't quite survive unemployment, and now he's crawling across the building like, I'm gonna get my job back. I'm just gonna take out this one guy, and then the whole fucking world will be like, we're gonna find that one guy and burn him in the streets. And I told people that. I says, listen, I'm not here to be fucking dictate or anything like that. I want power to the people. I want to wake up and you guys being like, hey, listen, so we voted on this bill. What do you think of me being like, let's take a look at it? Oh shit, that's brilliant. Fuck yeah. Tell them I approve it. And then I just fucking roll over, go back to sleep. Give power to the fucking people. And I mean that shit. I don't mean that in like a fucking Molotov cocktail in one hand and a fucking rifle in the other. I mean power to the people, and you should have the right to make decisions. You should have the right to say what school your kids go to, what's in that school and what they're teaching their kids. Because Common Core is bullshit. Backwards math. If you're getting the same solution, the same correct answer, no matter how you do it, I don't care if you multiply, divide, subtract, and you're fucking doing all this crazy fucking Einstein shit. If your answer is still the same as what's on the fucking test, congratulations. You get an award, right? Mm-hmm. You get an A for getting the assignment done and done right. Yeah. But now it's, you solved that problem incorrectly. I'm like, that's some sly fucking shit. Yeah. That is some garbage. That is a red flag.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
Bree Taylor says, I know about that. Looking into how you see your name on official documentation, your name is represented as a corporation. Exactly. When your name is in all caps, it's not proper English. That's not how we write our names. That's not how any of us do. When it's in all caps, look at any corporation. Like, look at Walmart, all caps. Look at any other corporation, all caps. You know what I'm saying? That's how and that's what's on your birth certificate. That's what they put on your driver's license, because you're representing that corporation they created for you.
Yeah.
And we got to get rid of that corporation bullshit too.
I seriously want to cry. I just woke up and I can't watch the live. It is. Oh yeah, we already discussed that. It's fine now. Thank you. So, anyways, sorry. Just comment was seen that we'd already addressed. Common Core works well for some children, but as a general way of teaching, it's retarded as fuck. I completely agree, Bree Taylor. I have notes for what it's called. It's 3 ways of slavery. Damn.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, we're all slaves. That's what I'm not understanding, why people are getting mad about being slaves back in the day when we're all fucking slaves now.
That's the thing. Again, how do you make America great again? Like, if you can never pinpoint to a time that we were actually fucking great. World War II, we were in fucking debt. World War II, a bunch of soldiers fucking died. World War II, fucking Pearl Harbor got bombed for us to get involved. Like, so when was America ever great? And if you sat there and say, it's back when this country was first established, you have to go back to when it was first established to when it was great, which means in order to make it great, again, you'd have to reestablish a new government?
Yep.
Is that what you just fucking said? And the right goes, whoa, 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 whoa. I'm like, you cunts, you. Bree says your first name and all lowercase capitalize your first and last name and all caps. Fucking hell. God damn. I love seeing Bree Taylor, by the way. I love seeing her in the chats. She's somebody you should definitely have on your show. At some point, she's great to look at. She's fucking phenomenal. Smart, brilliant, wears cool hats, wears really sexy clothing. I love it. So huge shout out to Bree.
Hell yeah.
Like I said, and I tell people this all the time. Like I got all this whole like hitting on women thing and saying all this thing about women because Trump said it was okay. And I'm like, hey, listen, if he says it's okay, it's okay. Like, he is president after all. If he made that an executive order, I'm just saying. So people be like, hey, that's not cool, but Trump did it. All right, I guess, fine. They just put up with it, right?
Right. That's what they do.
But that's the thing. Trump never said sexually assault somebody. You know what I mean? Like it was like you said, it was locker room talk. He says, yeah, you can just grab him by the pussy. They'll fucking let you. I'm like,
when you're rich. That's what he was talking about.
Yeah, if you're rich, and he probably has a point. I don't know. I've never been fucking rich. I've never been fucking loaded to be able to confirm or deny this. But maybe if you are rich, women are like, I don't care. He was just going to slip some money in my chest and it's going to be worth it. Okay, you got to grope.
Dude, look at all the rock bands and all the groupies, bro. That just explains it to you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, imagine a billionaire. Of course he's going to have groupies. Of course they're going to let him grab their shit.
Yeah, and there's like, who was that one lady that was bragging? It was on an episode of Hell's Kitchen Nightmares. She was like, oh yeah, there was big rich guys down in Vegas, and all those beautiful women came over and hung out with us instead. And I'm like, again, I cannot confirm or deny this, but apparently that lifestyle where they go is very fucking different. I mean, I've heard of Bohemian Grove. I can't wait, like, because we're going to make a tour of that. We're going to do, when I'm elected, if I get elected in 2024, we're going to do a tour of Bohemian Grove. We're going to make it so that way a tour guide is somebody, a career politician that has been there, and they have to tell the truth of everything that happened to Bohemian Grove. And if they don't, they'd be publicly executed.
Hell yeah.
I think that'd be great.
Yeah.
Barry Taylor says, shut up, Sid. Don't you dare grab at my pussy.
Yeah.
Apparently, I'm not rich enough for that.
Nope. Oh, shit. That's horrible.
One day?
But yeah, man, I'm definitely down. Like, I'm going to do these shows as much as I can. I want anybody that has the fucking an opinion, I want them to come on here and fucking talk about it. Like,
yeah, and like I said,
my opinion and come on and tell me about it. It's not going to turn into a fight. That's not what I'm about. I'm about everybody having the rights to their own opinions, their own freedom of speech. So just do
and
it.
There's no regulation on this page either. There's none. If you want to do fucking, like, I know Brie Taylor, she's like, I want to kind of do tarot readings, get into like some of the spiritual, kind of like the religious talk, kind of get into a little bit of conspiracy theories. I'm like, okay. Like, there is no regulation here. There is no, you can say this and can't say that. I asked for common courtesy. I asked for, like, some things with language, like, let's try and avoid the N-word. I'm pretty sure that's pretty, I think like that's like pretty fair. Again, that's like compassion.
Your rights and mine begin. You know what I'm saying? So like, if your freedom of speech is affecting me, then it's not freedom of speech anymore.
Right.
It's a problem. Yeah.
Like I said, I just asked that, and if somebody were to ever say, "Hey, this happened in your fucking chat," and I'd say, I'd go back and I'd watch it, and I'd say, "All right, I think it was either A, taken out of context, or B, I had no idea that there were white supremacists hacked our page." Like, my fucking bad. We'll go deal with that shit.
You can definitely say cunt.
You can say cunt. That is absolutely fine. I'm sure. I'm actually told that if you actually say cunt, your ratings go up because people get so shocked by it.
Oh yeah,
Just to prove a point, we just got 3 new viewers, so that's always exciting. Brie Taylor, yes, you can. You can say it. You can say anything you'd like. You can call me anything you'd like, just not late for supper. We the people of the separated states of America, and that's not too bad. When you think about the separation of the states, that's not entirely bad because New Hampshire laws should not impede on other laws. However, if there's laws that I'm like, okay, this doesn't make sense. Like, why do you need a permit for for fucking mace and all that shit? And you're a fucking woman. Like, shouldn't there be courses that are there for fucking free for women to be like, okay, this is how you use mace properly. Right? This is how you use a fucking baton. Here's how you use a police baton. And it's like a 30-second class. Like, that is it, right? It could even be a video class. You just click past the thing. You should get fucking mace and all that shit and all that protective shit given to you by the fucking government. Or at least make it so that way you
guns, bro. The same thing with guns. We got a right to bear arms. I'm saying
shall not be infringed.
Right. And charging people for courses on how to use them, that's kind of infringing on that shit a little bit. You know what I'm saying? We don't want people out there shooting guns that have no idea how to use them. They might shoot themselves. They might shoot somebody else that's not meant to shoot. You know what I'm saying? So I think we should be educating people on this kind of shit for free as well. Like, not just in like career style fucking education, but like everyday life, like using guns, using fucking doing shit with your bank. You know what I'm saying? Like how to control your money, how to do this.
I got a solution. Got a great solution. Got a great idea. Do you know who teaches those classes?
What class?
Fucking United States veterans that are coming home.
Mm-hmm.
That's who teaches the classes, mandated classes, and the state would pay him. Imagine that instead of having to pay for like these courses and this, that, and the other. Imagine saying, all right, we're going to pay this guy to do these courses. These are when the courses are. And think about that. Like he'd be saying, okay, and this is how I teach you how to use a shotgun. So if you've purchased a shotgun, this class is for you. Next week, we're going to be talking about pistols. And then on the day after that, revolvers. Because let's remember, a magazine does not go into a revolver.
I don't think they're going to disarm us because it's going to be a hell of a fight. And then it will be a revolution if they try that. I think that right is more.
I forget the guy's name. There was a dictator. And he said the reason why I didn't invade America is because I feared every American with a gun behind every blade of grass.
Exactly. Hell yeah.
So I'm like, that's what Switzerland did. I don't know if they're still doing it, but they did. If you were 16 years old, you were enlisted in the military. Here's your fucking rifle. Here's your pistol. Here's your how-to book. And if we need you, we'll call you. And they're like, sweet. And they got fucking paid for it. They'd be sitting at home fucking playing video games, and they're like, I still haven't gotten a call from anybody. Like, you're getting a text like, hey, are you getting the text messages? Yep, getting text messages, just making sure, because there's still fucking nothing happening. Like, an atom bomb could go over on the other side of the Alps, and they'd go, what the fuck was that? And they'd come out with their guns for a minute, and they'd be like, all right, like, they don't give a fuck. That's how their economy is strong. Sony says it will be a hell of a fight. It will fucking be. They're trying to disarm us. Yes, they are. Just take down the Morin, Rothschild, Rockefeller empire and make it so that way they can't lobby into fucking politics. Like, if they tried to step in. Yeah. It fucking tax the shit out of them. That would blow their minds. Like, hey, listen, if you've been a part of this or affiliated with this or associated with this in any way, you're actually having to pay penalties. So by doing that, it's going to be through your taxes. And that's a tactic that Obama did. It was if you didn't have health care, you got fined. Right? Yeah. That's what it was. It was a fine. So I think that if we did that with the rich, like if you've been accused of doing this, that, or the other, if you've had, these crimes that you've committed and you've lobbied this much money, you actually have to pay taxes to the people now. We're not taking your money. You're going to give it to the fucking people. And like I said, instead of a stimulus package, it's just stimulating fucking America. And it's not printing new money. It's money that somebody already fucking has.
Exactly.
But nobody thinks of it that way. Bree says, plus if they take them, we are still importing illegal ones through California, Arizona, and Mexico. We kind of talked about that a little bit. We will get them back, and America will be gone. I think that no more privatized banks pretending to be federal. That's not a bad idea. I do kind of like.
Federal Reserve is a private bank.
Yeah, and I think that what we should do is make it so that way, if we want to keep our fucking money, like we do our own fucking banking.
Yeah, exactly.
We have apps, right? Like we go to the bank, we deposit our checks, and now we've got the apps on our phone. Why don't we just cut out the banks, cut out the middleman, and we make it so we're kind of banking our own money, right? Yep. Where it's like you get alerts on your fucking app that says, oh, by the way, the government has just sent you $300,000. Do you accept? And you have to sit there and scratch your head and think about it for a minute. You're like, $300,000. I guess. I don't know. It's chump change, I guess.
Right now, I'd be kind of leery of accepting because they'd probably come after you and say, oh, you weren't supposed to get that money. We're going to fucking penalize you now. Like, no, fuck you. You put it in my account, bitch. That's where it's going to stay.
Yeah. I remember when PayPal, they accidentally deposited like $1 million into somebody's account and they cashed out and they're like, oh, that wasn't for you. And they went, mine now. It's already fucking spent. What are you going to do?
It's just they can really do about it. Like, they fucked up.
Right. And that would be great. Like, instead of it being like an accident, imagine this. Like, instead of like a lottery where you go and you scratch tickets and shit, because that's supposed to go to the education anyways, and it fucking doesn't. Spoiler alert, but when you think, oh, by the way, I'm buying these scratch tickets and it goes towards schools, it fucking does not. Like a fraction of it, I think like cents of it goes to schools. But imagine if it's like, hey, listen, by the way, we've had a surplus this month. Like we've actually done pretty good. We've cut down the FCC. We've actually made some money ourselves, me being president and all of my congressmen and congresswomen. They've made money. So we got this leftover this week. So we're just going to kind of make it into a lottery where you might wake up and you see your bank account or your app account, whatever it is we decide to come up with. Again, you're the Secretary of Treasury, you think of it. And we go, and they're like, oh, by the way, they found that. Like, imagine that instead of like a news break, coronavirus, news break, gunshots, you'd get news break. Some Americans are getting $300,000 from a surplus of cash that was found inside the Pentagon. They'd be like, fucking hell, I love this country. You wouldn't have anybody. Think about that. You would have no fucking protest. We'd be like, shit, yeah. Hell yeah. All right. I'm going to go buy me that new fucking Mercedes Benz that I always wanted. And can we get rid of registering vehicles, please?
Yeah.
That's dumb. Like, why are you registering something that you already fucking own? In the state of New Hampshire, you don't have to register a fucking firearm. You can if you want.
What about property taxes? Why are we paying taxes on something we already own? Or right. Paying taxes on something more than one time when we purchase something?
Right. And when you think about it, and you know what I think it is? I think that what America's trying to do right now is they've got a 3-tier system. Rich, the middle class, and then the poor. Yeah. And Trump and not Trump, fucking Carlin, he goes, the rich are there to control the middle class. The middle class are there to slave for the upper class, and the poor are there just to scare the shit out of the middle class.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you had it so it's an even playing field, You know, and that's what they're afraid of. They don't want everybody to have Mercedes-Benz. They want everybody to have nice things. They want you to be able to have to work for that beautiful fucking dude. Even if I had all that money, I'm not going out there and buying your boats. Like, I would just call you up and be like, dude, can we take the boat out? Like, well, why don't you have a boat? Everyone's got boats now. I don't even know where to put it. I don't even know how to put it on the fucking trailer. Could you just help me? Like, that's some shit, dude, for real. I'm still Secret Service detail. Bree says, I fucking, yeah, because she knows that, Mr. President, right this way, I'm following you to a fucking hole in the ground. I don't fucking care. Like, if you're walking in front of me, I'm just staring.
Hell yeah.
D. Cochran says, good, Sid Jones. Nice surprise you're on today. Yes, this is Warloxide. I want to introduce you guys. This guy will be doing a show at his convenience whenever he wants. I have not given him a schedule. I have not told him what to say. I've asked him, what is it you want to talk about? And he told me, and I said, do that on my network. There's like very little regulation here as far as how I run shit. Like, if I woke up, like I said, I'm trying to run this ship as I would fucking being president, where people just wake up in the morning being like, there's no crazy shit going on. Like, the president's not coming out and saying stupid shit. He just literally came on the television just to ask how we were all doing, and we all went, great. And he went, awesome, I'm going back to bed now. Like, that's what he did. He just checked out the American people. You all good out there? Well, I kind of ran into this issue. We'll fucking fix it. Like, we'll figure out something. We'll be back in a couple of days. We'll get back to you. I'd be stoned like I'm working on now. God damn. So Bree's going to be stoned being my secretary detail. So that my assassination attempt just kind of increased a little bit there. Shared you out to the max, Sid. Sharing is caring. Thank you, D. Cochran. Sharing is caring.
I think we got what, 328 million people in this country?
Yeah, some shit like that.
I think if we had kept all the taxes that we have now, right? Let's just say we kept them all. We could technically afford, if you were president, to give 41 million families each year of your presidency $1 million. And we could cover the whole United States, and they'd all be millionaires. You know what I'm saying?
Let's fucking make that shit happen. You're my fucking treasurer. You're my secretary of the treasury. Like, let's make that shit happen, dude. Like, for real. Let's make it so that way somebody can wake up one morning and they're like, my fucking house is decrepit. I can either A, build a new one, or C, go get one of those fucking mansions that are out in California or some shit. Like, yeah. And we could, like, put money into fucking science at that point, too. Like, if we've got a surplus of cash, we've got the ability to print fucking money. Why are we putting it into fucking the Pentagon and like the FCC and some stupid shit? Why are we making the people pay for fucking services and whatnot when the government has all the fucking money? Why isn't the government just looking out for the fucking people?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that makes no sense to me. Jordan Hoffman is here. Thank you for tuning in. I've been ignoring you guys. I apologize. I've been so excited about this live stream when Warloxide told me about this. So Warloxide, before we take off, tell me a little bit about your show, what we can expect to see here on the Sid Jones Network.
So my idea here is to put my opinions. I don't want to say everything's facts that I talk about, but I do mention some kind of facts that I won't say they're facts unless I actually look it up, make sure I got the right numbers. But I want to push my opinion out there, and I hope that it's a wide enough opinion that everybody could jump on board. You know what I'm saying? I want to hear other people's opinions on how we can change some shit, or what kind of problems some of my opinions can fix or could cause. I want to see how we can fix that, make it better. You know what I'm saying? And then we just want fucking everybody to live equal like we're supposed to. We want everybody to have equal rights. We want everybody to be on an equal playing field. And if you're a fucking poor class, middle class, you're not on the even playing field. I think we need to fucking start stripping from fucking the big fucking corporations and shit, taking money from them motherfuckers, taking more fucking taxes from them bitches. You know what I'm saying? And distributing it amongst the people, not putting it in their fucking pockets. We need to give it to the people, give back to the fucking country.
And I can definitely sign off on that. I'm very excited to see what you have coming up. Any special guests that we can expect? Like, you're gonna, because you've mastered all this, brother. Like, when you said, yeah, I got you on the fucking Sid Jones Network, we'll fucking do the StreamYard. You don't have to go live on your mobile phone anymore. So yeah, I fucking appreciate that to the hilt. I really do.
Thanks, Bree Taylor. I appreciate you. I would definitely want to have her on the show one day. I think that'll be dope.
Yes, definitely have that, because
obviously has a lot of fucking common sense, and I see that throughout her fucking comments and shit. So that's dope. Anybody else that wants to get on this bitch, just hit me up, man. Don't be afraid to hit me up. Just search Warloxide. You'll find me. Search me on fucking YouTube, fucking Instagram. It don't matter. But yeah, I definitely want to have people. I want to get everybody's opinion. You know, if we have enough people's opinions, we can kind of like do the math and figure out what needs to be done.
Compromise.
Compromise, yeah.
Fucking hell. Hell yeah. So, brother, I can't wait to see what you got coming up on the show. I appreciate being your first fucking guest.
I appreciate you coming out, man. I appreciate letting me do this shit here. This shit's dope, man. I don't think anybody could have created a better fucking platform to do this shit than
you can
just
actually,
let everybody say what they want. You know what I mean?
You can actually thank Bree. You can actually thank the members of my council. They were the ones that said, hey, Sid, we should branch out and start making it so that way everybody has a voice and can be heard. And I said, okay. Like, so they like, I say it like this, I'm a tin toy back in the day with the little wind up key. I'll keep going in a direction until you turn me, and then I'll just keep going in that fucking direction. Yep. That's what we're here for. It's not me. Like they came up with these ideas. They came up with the show ideas, and it's people that are taking the incentive. There's no assignments that I give. I tell people when something's about to go down. As far as like, you know, on the show, going over to the asylum page, like I'm all over the place now. So I've told people, if you want to go live anytime you fucking want on this page, fucking do it. Whatever it is, like you don't got to run it by me. They'll be like, hey, I'm going live. Just let me know if you want me to tune in. And if you're like, fuck it, I just need to get this off my chest now, fucking do that. I want everybody to, because the freedom of speech is the most important to me. So I don't care what walk of life you are. If you have something to fucking say, you should have the right to fucking say it, and this should be the place for you.
Exactly. Definitely should be.
So, Warloxide, I thank you for having me on this first ever show. Tell us the title of your show one more time. Plug that real quick.
This is the Conspiracy Hour with Warloxide, y'all. Make sure, if you ain't fucking following this page yet, do so, because we got a lot of good shit to talk about. A lot of shit you're going to want to hear. No matter what your standpoint is right now on what's going on out there, we got something for everybody. So, keep watching.
I'm fucking excited, brother. Thank you again. Like I said, for you being a part of this network means a lot to me. You contribute a lot of things that I actually need help with. So it's kind of like I said, we've kind of built a community here.
Yeah, exactly.
I called it a council. Like I said, I made you an admin. I was like, fuck it, let's do this. There was no questions. There was no fucking interview. I didn't give you prerequisites or nothing like that, correct?
Nope, not at all, man. He told me to say whatever the fuck I wanted. Just try to keep it civil. And that's what I like to do anyway, so. All right, that's why I love this place so much already, man. Fucking simple.
It's nice over here, right? It's a little bit of anarchy. It's kind of cool. Like I said, we're jumping forward, man. We're jumping into a time machine. We're going fucking forward.
So I've had people literally threaten me at the next gathering because of my fucking viewpoint and because I didn't see the way they thought. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, whatever. It's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever.
Well, with free speech comes repercussions, right?
Oh, always, always.
So this has been the Conspiracy Hour with Warloxide. More to tune into. I can't fucking wait. I'm going to go share the shit out of this. Tell people. You should make a graphic for yourself, by the way. Whatever you want it to look like. It could be you holding a penis. I don't care. Make it a graphic.
That's why I miss my boy Lakeland, bro. I miss Lakeland so bad.
Yeah, I bet. There's Brooklyn out there. Brooklyn Menace does some pretty cool shit.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, feel free to make a fucking graphic. Post it wherever you'd like. I won't tell you can't. Anytime you want to go live, if you want to come up with a schedule, fucking come up with one, post it, send it to me so I can just simply share it. I'm not even going to give it a sample pro. You're like, sweet, he's got one, sending it out. I want people to have freedom. I want people to have the right to talk, right to free speech, right to be heard, right? Like they say that you have the right to free speech, but you don't have the right to be heard. I think everybody, if they have the free speech, then by fucking compassion, it should be that you are heard. Exactly. And I think this is a place where people love to talk about different shit.
Hell yeah. So, Bree, you can give me a reading whenever. I don't care. I like that kind of shit. I think that shit's dope.
Oh, yeah. I'll be watching that. Unless you guys want to do it in private. That's cool, too. As I said, the ladies in this group, man, like I said, the beautiful women that come with the territory. I'm telling you right now, we got some of the most beautiful women that follow this page that tune into these shows. So indulge, my friend. Indulge. This is just a glimpse into the future of a Sid Jones presidency. I promise you that.
Yeah.
So, with all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Sid Jones. This is Warloxide. This is the Conspiracy Hour. Fucking excited. Thank you.
Hell yeah. Peace, y'all.